All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I'm Is There No One Else? In the video I'm bringing you today, we have a two-part video. First of all, I want to read this post from Gina Bruno, and the second part, I wanted to talk to you console guys about what's coming on Tuesday and what you can do to get prepared for no Proc Cyrodiil. So this video is going to be broken up into two parts because they're both important, and this video is going to probably be a little bit longer, so let's just dive into it. Hi everyone. First, we want to thank everyone for taking the time to provide so much valuable feedback regarding our decision to leave proc sets disabled in Cyrodiil until update 31, which was the fall. We understand this is a very polarizing topic, and while many of you like this direction, we acknowledge that there are just as many who do not. When we had the last Cyrodiil test activated, we did initially get a lot of positive feedback surrounding the removal of item set procs in Cyrodiil, and from a technical standpoint, it made sense for us to leave proc sets disabled until we were able to complete some additional necessary work for update 31. We also recognize that disabling proc sets in the long term generate a lot more concern than the 3-week test we initially proposed, and that this sudden change in the timeline was quite jarring. I agree. If you guys watch my video or any YouTuber's video going over this, or you stumbled upon the forums, you had people that were very, very excited, and you had just as many people that were very, very upset. And the people that were upset, it wasn't just people that wanted procs and they wanted their proc damage and whatever. It was also people that enjoyed their no proc stuff, like their Clever Alchemist or their Daedric Trickery or other sets like that they've had and they've been using, and now they can't use them, and now they got to go to more boring sets. And so I totally understand both points of view. That's what I tried to talk about earlier this week. Makes sense. And I said that they needed to speed it up, and here they are, speeding up the process. We spent a lot of time discussing our options to improve the experience in the short term. We still plan to leave proc sets disabled in Cyrodiil, and will instead reduce the duration of this change until update 30. So instead of the fall, it's the summer when they'll remove no proc Cyrodiil. With the update 30 launch, we will then re-enable all item set bonuses in Cyrodiil alongside some additional proc set work. We'll provide details in the update 30 combat preview. In update 31, we'll still plan to add more flexibility and customizable campaign rule sets as it relates to item sets, and we'll be able to fine-tune which proc sets we turn on and off. Awesome stuff. We'll have to see what happens with update 31 as far as different, as far as what they're going to do with that. My only concern with Cyrodiil getting split up between proc Cyrodiil and no proc is Cyrodiil has a way of dying really quickly when the population gets to like 2 bars, 1 bar. I've seen it go from 3 bars all campaigns to just die out because one faction gets the hammer and they have Emp and they steamroll everybody, so the other 2 factions hop off and then they hop off. And so my concern with separating campaigns would mean that everybody just has like half population all the time, and I don't think that's I think they would just be more prone to dying that way. And what will end up happening is people will either go into proc Cyrodiil or they go into no proc. They'll just go to wherever it's most populated. And so I don't know if that's the best option, but we'll see what the details are. But overall, guys, I have to say I don't want to speak for other YouTubers or other players, but I know I myself have been critical when I feel like it needs to be called out about ZeniMax. I think them being upfront and honest about this, I think them listening to the community and removing procs is a good thing. I think them then shortening no proc Cyrodiil from 6 months to 3 things is a great thing, because most people want that, and they listened to the community, they heard it, and now that's what they're going to do. And so I think it's great that they posted this. I think that it's great that they're out here talking to everybody about it, and I think they should be commended for that. In all seriousness, I think they should, because this is the type of communication you don't always see. And so it's good to see, like, hey, we've heard you guys, we understand where you're coming from, this is what we're doing. And so this is going to ease a lot of frustrations from people, because instead of having 6 months of their favorite sets not existing, it's only 3 months, which is a lot more manageable, it's a lot more bearable. Plus, it gives the people that... The reason I like no proc Cyrodiil is because procs are overperforming, and they're saying that in update 30, they're going to have some adjustments to procs, which is fantastic. That's what we all want. We just want more balance. Now, hopefully, it'll just bring more harmony and things are a little bit closer and more competitive, and we can all play our own builds in our own unique ways, but we'll see what happens. For those of you on console, You can expect to see item set procs disabled in Cyrodiil this Tuesday, March 16th, once Update 29 launches. Any subsequent changes will follow the schedule outlined above. Again, we greatly appreciate everyone's feedback on these proposed changes in the related time. We want to ensure that you can still play the way you want and have fun in PvP, and we hope that these revised plans strike a better balance for everyone, both in the short and long term. I think they do. Coming from a guy that thinks that procs are overtuned and they need an adjustment, giving it 3 months to make those adjustments, applying the band-aid fix of what we currently have while still allowing that to happen when the new chapter releases. I think it's way better for them too, like, they're going to introduce new gear in the summer. It wouldn't be good for their new chapter sales if you can't wear any of that new gear in PvP. So I think this all makes sense. I think it speeds that up. I think it makes everybody a lot happier. I think it makes ZeniMax happier because they'll be able to sell their chapter a little bit better. It makes us people that are tired of just getting proc to death, makes us happier knowing that we don't have procs for a while and adjustments coming. And the people that enjoy procs and other sets and don't want to get bored with the same 20 item sets, which are right here, these are sets that are confirmed that do work during the no proc sets. So no Proc Cyrodiil. So it's nice knowing that we won't just be in these sets for the next 6 months. So it's all good things. Now, the other big thing is the Flames of Ambition patch is dropping March 16th for console. And you guys, us guys, however you want to say it, we're all getting no Proc Cyrodiil on the same day. And so coming from a guy that has been playing no Proc Cyrodiil during the tests and that has also been playing for the last 4 days, I wanted to provide some insight to you guys into this video. There's no way I'm going to be able to pump out 16 build videos for you guys. Like on a Magic and Necromancer, this is what I would run on this. I'm still learning myself. CP 2.0 is very interesting. There's a lot of things to test there. There's a lot of different... For as limited as the gear sets are, the different CP allocations are very interesting. So I'm trying to figure stuff out. So I wanted to go through some of this stuff, and I wanted to provide my feedback and tell you guys my thoughts. So number one, damage is at an all-time high. The last time this damage was this high, in my opinion, was Scalebreaker. Scalebreaker was so close to being a good patch, but Soul Trap and Entropy had to ruin it for us. This is that kind of damage, but with burst damage instead of just crazy amounts of dots and everybody getting melted by dot damage, which makes it a lot more enjoyable. There's a few reasons for that. They lowered the base crit resist value. And so I was running around with 3,000, 3,500 impen in Markarth. I have 2,000 impen now, unless I run a set like Impreg that allows me to build into it. And yeah, 2k impen is not going to cut it for anybody. Like if anybody crits on you, they're doing a lot more damage. And so there's a lot more burst in PvP right now for that reason. So even with 7 impen, you're at like 2,100. And that impacts burst. Like people get bursted a lot harder. The other thing is you can't stack heavy and just have mitigation versus everybody. Heavy has its weakness versus magic classes. I saw a screenshot in my Discord today actually of somebody taking an 18k frag on a Stamina Warden. They were in their 7 heavy Stamina Warden in Battlegrounds, what they normally run, because it's been strong. I know you guys I know this is revolutionary here, hearing from me that a 7 heavy Stamina Warden is powerful, but they took an 18k crystal frag and no CP from a Magsork because 7 heavy means you take 7% more damage from Magicka classes. And so that's what happened, and they got bopped. And that's going to happen a lot. You're going to run across people that think that they can still run 7 heavy, and some Magicka class is going to melt them real quick, and they're going to go back to the drawing board. Everybody has damage right now, and by everybody, I mean everybody. I dueled a Magic and Necromancer, and he was running Dawnbreaker. And I'm not going to lie, guys. I've not normally worried about Magic and Necromancers unless they're bombers running synergy and like synergy builds. Wasn't worried about him, but he was running Blastbones, Dawnbreaker, and he was running Harmony, and he almost 3-shot me. I had like 28k health. He took 24k with that combination. And I was like, holy crap, I gotta be careful, because even Magic and Necromancers with their weaker burst are still bursting because your impen is so low. The amount of resistances you get on these sets aren't that high. Fortified Brass is only like 3k. So These other heavy sets, you have like maybe 25k. If you're running a Nord, you have 27, maybe 28k. So you have low impen, you have lower resistances. It's really hard to stack mitigation the way you used to. And so you have to rely on block and roll dodge and all these other defensive mechanics. And so damage is a lot higher. Everybody has it, which means that although build diversity isn't great because there's only so many sets that exist, everybody's playing their favorite classes. Yeah, there's more mag sorks. There's quite a few more people on mag sorks. But I've seen a lot more Magicka Nightblades. I've seen a little bit of everything. And it's really cool because, yeah, I'm getting hit by 10k spec bows from Magicka Nightblades. I've seen a 20k spec bow from a Magicka Nightblade. I've seen damage from everybody. And so that's pretty cool. So although build diversity isn't high, everybody has damage. So if you like your favorite class, you can probably make a build work for the next 3 months, which is very, very cool. As far as these sets go, I mean, Spinners and Spriggans are the #1 damage sets. Those are going to be the #1 damage sets that everybody's going to enjoy, regardless of whatever, because they're just up there. As far as other damage sets go, Crafty Elfique and Draugr Hulk will be my next ones, and then like Julianos Hundings, because impen's lower, crit value's more valuable. You're not gonna be able to stack it in the same way, but when you crit, you're gonna notice some crazy damage. Amber Plasm has some value on mag specs, especially if you try to go light armor, because you can dodge roll a little bit more. Beekeeper health recovery is honestly nice right now because you can stack some health recovery through food, through passives, heavy armor passives, and in the CP tree. It's not as immortal as you think it is. So if you think you're like, oh, I'm gonna run 7 heavy Beekeeper and I'm gonna have like 4k health recovery and be immortal, have fun eating that 18k frag. Just have fun with it. Yeah, Fortified Brass is only 3k resist. There's a lot of different ways to build. Health recovery is nice. Obviously, you could go stage 3 on death. Obviously, like Impreg in the past has been nice for dealing with crit damage. There's just a lot of flat damage too. So finding that balance, it's tough for me to explain this because there's so many different classes and I can't just be like, oh yeah, this works for everybody, because it doesn't. Like you're gonna have to know your class. You have to know like how you kind of survive, and you're gonna have to build in that way that you survive. That's the best information I can give you guys. I wouldn't worry too much about damage because it's coming. Yeah, like I wouldn't really worry about too much damage at all. So yeah, the sets minimal, but luckily they're easy to acquire or they're crafted. But the PvP is a lot of fun. And the other reason the PvP is a lot of fun is because it works better. I've been in Greyhost for the last 4 days on PCNA. I have not been in Greyhost on Xbox in 6 months. And the reason it is because when I hop on to play, the game doesn't work and my skills don't fire in Greyhost, so I go to Blackreach. All you guys that watch my footage, those of you guys that play against me or play with me on Xbox, you know that I've been Blackreach. Like that's when I hop on. It's the only campaign that really works. But I've been in Greyhost on PC when it's pop locked with ball groups running around, and yes, there is some lag when there's a couple ball groups really duking it out at a keep. You have some issue with some skills firing, but it's not. First of all, it's not unmanageable. Second of all, it's not everywhere the way it has been in the past. Like in the past, when I hopped into Greyhost, I'd just sit at my home keep and I could see if I could see if I could weapon swap, and if I couldn't weapon swap at home keep, I'd leave and I'd just hop off. I've had very enjoyable PvP the last 4 days playing in Greyhost, and I think performance has been better. Now, I want to give it another couple of weeks before I say that it's definitely improved, because resetting, like for whatever reason, every time a new chapter drops, it's like they reset the servers and they work for a little bit, and you get your hopes up only to have them dashed. And so I don't want to be like, oh yeah, performance is way better. You guys, like it's friggin' awesome. It is better, but it very well could be that. And so I want to see what happens this weekend. I want to see what happens next week before I come out and be like, hey, the CP 2.0 change made a noticeable improvement. But like I said, I'm in Greyhost this week. I've been in Greyhost. I've been PvPing, and it's been a lot better. It's been a lot better. And so you have people not relying on. You have no crutch sets out there, no crutch offensive or defensive sets. So those of you guys that, you know, you have that Zon crutch, you have that Malabeth wheelchair, all those sorts of things, you have to put them in the closet for now. You have to go put on the old school stuff that's listed right here. There are some hidden ones though. And so this is what they're talking about, unconfirmed. I know that some of these do work, like Oblivion's Edge works. I don't know about Rattle Cage. One that I forgot about that was brought up by Dr. Gankenstein, and I feel really dumb for forgetting about this one. Pestilent Host. So I've been saying in my Discord that Pestilent Host is interesting because it's almost Spriggans. It's almost Spriggans level pen. And it has all that flat value. It's just the proc doesn't work in Cyrodiil, but apparently all the pen and stuff that you get. So if you really want to go with like a high glass cannon build and you want to run Spriggans, stacking with Pestilent Host is actually kind of a sexy option. I did try to test Titanborn, my baby. Titanborn does not work. So I'm sorry guys, Titanborn does not work. Apparently Pestilent Host does. Apparently some of these other sets do. I have not confirmed these, so I don't know for sure. But these ones definitely work. So yeah, I will provide a link in the description to this thread and you guys can go check that out if you want. Those are my thoughts. Get ready to take more damage. Get ready to not have everybody crutching on different sets. If you think you can just run 7 heavy and survive, that's not the case. It's a little bit more difficult than that. Survival is not as easy as just like being in heavy and having Arctic Blast or whatever. Sorry, Wardens. I'm not trying to intentionally call you out. That's just what... That's what the screenshot from the 18K frag was, okay? So, my bad. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. As you guys know, I like higher damage metas. This is a higher damage meta. Of course I like it. Of course I do. Now, we're all different people. We all have different opinions. Hopefully this helps you guys. Hopefully it gets you started in the right direction. If you think you're going to probably run like medium Spriggans and Shacklebreaker, depends on the fights you're getting in. Like if you're fighting severely outnumbered, I think you're going to want to add some bulk. If you're fighting in a ball group with a couple healers, it'll probably work. So yeah, look at these sets, figure out what you want to do. I'm going to continue to gather information and hopefully late next week, the week after, I can have build videos for you guys. I'm trying different CP stuff. I'm trying to make I will eventually get to a melee mag blade this patch. So yeah, that's going to be in this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, please provide in the section below and I will do my best to answer it. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.